Are you a runner with some nagging, persistent knee pain? In this video, we'll go over 3 exercises that will help you develop healthy knees to be able to return to running stronger, healthier, and faster than before. Hi everyone, my name is Casey. I'm a physical therapist that's passionate about running, and this is the first episode of In the Kitchen with Casey.
Bro, that's kind of dumb.
We're still working on a title. But anyways, I'm kind of just getting this channel started, and we'll be making some videos with an intent to help runners run smarter, stronger, and faster, and hopefully not be super boring while doing so. So yeah, I hope you find them helpful. I'll also be really interactive with you all right away as I try to get this channel rolling a little bit. So if there's anything you'd like covered in particular, feel free to comment below or message me on Instagram or TikTok at Casey's Running Tips. So back to the topic on hand here. Knee issues are quite common in runners, which is not too much surprise as the knee joint will withstand up to 8 to 12 times body weight upon impact when running. While a lot of times knee pain can be a volume or a dosing issue, like doing too much too fast, improving the strength and control of some key muscles, particularly your hip abductors and your quadriceps, can help your knees withstand the stresses of running more efficiently and keep them healthy for the long haul. Your hip abductors are the muscles located on the sides of your hips. These guys, particularly the glute med, play a big role in the alignment of your knee. And so when they're weak, your knee can often cave in a bit more than is ideal, which can create some problematic stresses at the knee joint, which can sometimes lead to pain. So the first exercise we'll cover has a focus on this muscle group, and it's called a modified side plank with a clamshell. Find a mat and come to the side plank position with your elbow underneath your shoulder. Your knees should be placed about 45 degrees in front of your hips, knees themselves bent to about 90 degrees, and your feet stacked on top of each other. Lift your hips up and push them slightly forward, then bring that top knee up towards the ceiling and then back down. Big key here is to not let your hips sag to the ground while doing these. Go ahead and perform 10 to 12 reps on each side and then switch. This is definitely also an exercise that makes you look super cool in any gym setting. So don't be surprised if some bodybuilders and gym bros come up to you and are like, hey, what are you doing? Can I join you? Can you teach me how to do this? That sort of thing. It's a very common occurrence. This exercise looks fairly simple, but if you do these right, I promise you'll feel a burn and it'll be quite tough towards the end. The next exercise we'll look at has a bigger focus on your quadriceps, which is the big muscle group sitting on the front of your thigh that plays a big role in supporting that knee joint and giving it stability. The exercise is called an eccentric step down. Find a step about 4 to 6 inches high, and I just use a couple plates because my gym doesn't have a step. And then climb on up there and keeping the weight through your stance leg, slowly reach down for 3 seconds and lightly touch the ground with your heel, then return to the starting position. A good cue with this one is to think about driving your knee over your second toe on the way down. It's easy to let your knee cave in with this, but be conscientious of how you control yourself on the way down. And then if you have no or minimal discomfort doing these, feel free to add a kettlebell held at your chest for some additional load. When you're running, your quads will eccentrically contract or lengthen when your foot initially hits the ground. And this exercise focuses on loading the quads in that same manner of that eccentric lengthening manner to help build that capacity to withstand those loads that are experienced when you're running. So again, this is another one that looks pretty simple, but if it's done right, it will get quite tough towards the end and can be very beneficial. So the final exercise here is the single leg squat with a ball against the wall. This is a bit more advanced of an exercise and requires a good amount of control to do well, but this really loads both your quads and hip abductors really nicely if done correctly. So first, find a ball and a wall and press the side of your thigh lightly into the ball. Then push yourself slightly into the wall with your stance leg, and you should feel the side of your hip working, especially on the leg that is down on the ground. And then once in this position, perform a slow and controlled mini squat on that stance leg while keeping a vertical torso. Be sure not to allow your upper body to bend to the side as you do this, as that is quite easy to do. This is definitely a tougher exercise, so if needed, work on perfecting that initial starting position that you need before adding in that mini squat on your stance leg. So there you are. I love those 3 exercises for knee joint health in runners. These are more so movements that kind of help in beginning to introduce load to the knees and the lateral hip when there's a little bit of pain or discomfort involved. So once these are tolerated well, I definitely would recommend progressing into exercises that involve a little more range of motion and greater load, such as rear foot elevated split squats, deadlifts, goblet squats, things like that. So that's for another video, and these are 3 awesome exercises that should help get you going. Hope this has helped some. If it has, like would mean a lot, and definitely let me hear any topics that you'd like covered below. I'll read all of your comments and do my best to get back to them as well. Peace, everybody.